This is happening. This is happening.
Halo, selamat malam
teman-teman. This is happening.
Kita buat party lagi ya.
Again, we talked about it a little bit. I'm very excited to see how Forsaken does on Yoru. Remember, he had a quiet first half. All of PRX had a quiet first half on Haven, so will there be a change of things on how they go around things? The one thing that is worth noting is they are starting off on defense. Bind is a bit unique to Haven in that obviously there are less sites and you don't have
DRX
as
kenapa
much
ini ya sekarang ya?
cheeky little stuff that you can do.
Duelisnya kenapa jadi RB ya?
You say that.
Kenapa nggak dikasih ke bus gitu ya? Karena biasanya kan bus pakai jet kan. So di map pertama dia pakai Killjoy kalau nggak salah.
Well, in the last map, Mitch, we just had.
Map pertama dia pakai Killjoy, yang pakai jetnya si RB lagi. Emang awal-awal Vision Strikers RB emang ini sih, emang duelis sih. Cuman kayak bus kayak jadi kurang aja gitu kalau nggak duelis. Oke, udah mulai.
And like it was just, oh look, I'm in the teleporter, or am I? And that was about it. I'm expecting a lot more from PRX. I've heard whispers of what the Yoru can do, and today
malah di sini busnya jadi Astra, pakai Astra lagi. Tim lain kalau nggak salah udah jarang yang pakai Astra sekarang. Karena kemarin sempat di nerf kan. Stars itu jadi 4. Sebelumnya kan 5. Yoru keluar nih ya. Saya pret.
Having all of that Ash utility to try and slow with gravity wells and stuff. I wonder if they're directly using this composition to play up against the composition of PRX.
The gamble here from PRX was that it would be a play through mid B, but unfortunately they've gone elsewhere. So now this
nggak ada ini ya. Nggak ada ini ya. Nggak ada Sentinel PRX. Panik. Sama-sama pakai res. Res emang kepake sih di buy. Ngedelay semua. Apa utility?
Look at this setup from Mako. Overcomes the utility to push them down. First you're pulling them off, then you're both putting down that snake bite to make sure that they can't get back on the spike.
Sama-sama aku suka nih.
Now they're in a pretty
tough
buat
running.
Oke, getting back in there. Good fight by Jing. Another connect, and now he's got his nade back up and online. And here it comes. Gonna push Mako forward, if not take him down altogether. Very nicely handled by PRX.
Another
fantastic round out of Jing. This guy's had 3 in a row now, bringing it across maps.
Yeah, he's winning them rounds, and that's the thing. That's the value of him coming in. As I said, like to run a double duelist, you need to have 2 superstars, and that's what they now have. But before it was the Forsaken show.
Mako gila sih men. Dari kemarin.
I will say that the thing I really liked about.
Tapi aku yang masih bingungnya tuh kenapa DRX masuk ke ini ya, ke group stage ya. Padahal dia kan juara 1 di KR kan, di KR region. Atau kayak gitu semua ya. Kayak Zeta kan dari Jepang juga tuh. Maksudnya ke grup. Masih ada flash. Nice. Force buy ya, force buy itu dapat ya. Dapat kayaknya, dapat. Thrifty kah? Mati nih.
They've just got so many to continuously aggress on this defensive side. A lot of damage done. At the same time, though, in terms of weaponry, it's almost even.
No, so far.
DRX invested more into this round. Mind Freak, bit of an off angle. If he can get to it, even just duck out. No, he's gonna
nice Mind Freak.
Finish them all off. And earn himself some more orbs along the way.
Indo nih bos.
DRX are gonna have to go back
to the Forsaken ini dari Indo guys.
PRX, well.
Makanya seru kalau itu. Forsaken-nya adiknya Kevin.
Yeah, no, you gotta be pretty happy if you're PRX, right? They played a pretty low buy coming into that one. Lots of pistols to work with, and they made it work. DRX, we talked about it on the previous map when they lost that second half pistol, that it is something that you can see this team do, going for the force buys. And here, the surprise element of it certainly paid off on that mid-fight initially. But from there, PRX just did not relent. You know, a lot of teams will fall back and go, okay, we lost, got 1-for-1 trades, whatever. Let's fight back on the site. These guys were like, all right, I'm going to TP back, then I'm going to come through, flash again, then he put his like decoy up middle, then ran back through and TP'd back. Like, they had no idea what was going on.
Kalau di sini Spike.
Benkai set up ready.
4 orang.
again, he's running off the back of it,
Mampus.
but it is only
Cuma
gonna be the
dapat
one.
1 sih.
Not falling for the fake out.
Dapat info sih seharusnya tuh. Rame di
Actually,
apa ya? Nah, tuh kan.
Just running.
Nice, Jing.
Oh, that nade's
Wants to
good.
sprint
Aduh,
them.
sayang
The
kali.
thing is, they're gonna manage to avoid it. Now the rest of the team look to actually just take this control. It's such an
Dapat info sih
aggressive
tuh seharusnya
defense.
masih ada.
Even versus the
Phantom.
pistols, they're wanting to try and fight.
Yeah.
Phantom and Buzz. He's now found another. This is starting to fall apart a bit.
Aduh.
The aggression finally
Drifty
punishing.
balas
And now
Drifty ya.
Mind Freak left again. He got 3 kills in the last round.
Spectre lagi yang
to do the
dipegang
same.
main
Well,
freak.
look what's being given over, though. DRX now have weapons to work with. Zest is going to have his heal online in a bit and be able to at least heal either himself or probably
Oh,
Buzz
3
right
masih.
back up.
Kira sisa
With the
2.
Phantom in play for Mako in full health, this is a round that looks
Kalah
set
sini.
to be in the hands of DRX, and it is
Okay.
taken convincingly with 3 players surviving, a free Phantom for them as well. The
Free
second round
Phantom,
force buy didn't
free
quite pay
Spectre.
off, but they've got it back somehow on the
Equal
eco.
lagi tadi orang tuh kan.
Yeah, I feel like these are the blips that you're going to see on the radar for PRX. Like, again, in rounds where you know your opponent's economy is low, to be this aggressive, it's always going to have massive risks around it, but they don't want to give that fight up, because then they know that they would have given some of the weaponry over. I do agree, though, the Phantom did seem a little bit much, especially at that sort of range. I just don't feel like the value is there. Now you get maybe the most mixed bag buy I've ever seen. It's been a long, long time since I've seen a Yoru op
Mantap
as
nih.
well. Laz, he's still in this tournament.
Kalau
I think that's the
DRX
only man
nih
who's ever
main
done it.
ya.
You've got a Yoru up and
Setup-setupnya
then
emang
a
bagus
Judge
juga.
in the hands of Rays. This is a
Penggunaan
mixed buy indeed. The
utility-nya
Vi
selalu
having the
bagus.
Spectre. But the Operator is where they look to take initial contact here on middle.
Kalau
TP ready to
PRX
get
sih
them
dari
back
dulu
over
emang
towards the B
agresif
side if he
ini nih.
needs. And he
Dapat
will
nih.
in a moment.
Nice.
There's the peak initially. RB down immediately. And that's a great start. I think
longa.
DRX
Oh,
will be
ada.
pretty
Dilihatin
surprised with
main
having run
fake
into a Yoru up to start.
Kirain dia lompat-lompat
Yeah,
kayak itu
but
kan
I
tanpa
guess
tahu
at this
long.
point you almost have to expect the unexpected when it comes to PRX. Like, that's the problem. Like, no one else in the
Tapi
world
kalau
is going to be playing
kalah
this
sih
comp,
kayaknya
so you can only
masih
have
bagus
hard
sih
prep for them, and even then,
ekonominya
they're not
DRX.
scrimming you anymore. They stopped doing
Karena
that a
tadi kan
month ago
dapat
so that they could have
tiga
these cheeky little
senjata
plays that you're
gratis.
not going to be expecting when coming into this tournament.
There's no way that Forsaken's going to go through the teleporter,
Badis
try to
ini
fight them in
bagus ya,
TP,
untung
and
aku
then okay, his teleporter's actually
Tapi
gone. His
dapatnya
gatecrash
kayaknya
was in the
bukan yang
spawn, but
bukan yang
it's
unggul.
disappeared now.
Yang
So
unggul
we'll be
tuh
able to
kalau
rotate
ikut
as
ini.
quickly, and that works out
Ujing
perfectly
sama
for DRX
Judge ya
as they look to
dapat
push
1,
forward.
nice.
That
Kiri
is
kiri kiri.
ridiculous. Jing getting himself one, but he'll be taken down afterwards. Now the site's basically lost with the wall in the way. The plants should be secured.
I felt like I'm back watching F4Q again. Like, just blast pack, Judge plays.
Timing.
The utility being
Nice,
but
Davai.
while coming out of the animation, Davai has managed to clear one out. RB is going to be bought back from the fray, but Stax needs to get aggressive while the rest are rotating. Can't allow them to get on that defusal, and well, they should have a gravity well or something to try and pull them off, but they managed to get it to half. Not a bad position.
Masih
and
banyak
something
ya
that might
utility-nya
not
tuh kan,
necessarily be
gila kan?
expected.
Gila kan
The
masih
peak count isn't
disimpan-simpan
gonna
kayak
garner
gitu loh.
anything. RB does manage one, but he can't escape. Benkai again. So
Tadi
good with
kayaknya
those
kalau
fault
3 lawan
lines.
3
And
tadi
they have plenty
bisa
of
menang
time.
tuh DRX tuh.
I love the use of the molly
Gila
coming
loh,
through from
masuk-
Mind Freak
masih-
as well inside the smoke when they start the
masih
defuse. So
disimpan
these
kayak
players,
itu.
they have to allow it to go
Apa namanya tuh?
halfway.
Blast pack
The
ya?
only option they
Apa
had
namanya?
was to spam through, and as soon as they tried that, there was return
Tapi tadi
fire from
molly-nya
Benkai
Mind
taking
Freak
the
juga
player
bagus
down.
sih.
With
Jadi
3 to
bisa
1 now on the
ke-delay.
board, that is a
Yang
remarkable
dari-
recovery by PRX
dari
off the back
short-nya.
of a pretty risky investment. I mean, there were a lot of things here that might have cost them, and that Judge in particular, finding value from that, honestly, he could have gotten a lot more if the timing was, I don't want to say better because there's no way he can know, but luckier, let's say.
Well, I like in those highlights as well,
Easy
you see
peasy
that
ya,
two
mantep.
of the, well, obviously 6 because they did use a res. Players that died were completely stunned up by fault lines from Benkai. He has been doing incredible work with that small piece of utility. And
Kosong. Hanya
gonna
full
see the
B nih
initial
semua nih.
aggression. Look how fast this
Ada
rotation
berapa
is.
orang tuh?
They're already looking to try and get 4 players within this B side. Make it 5 in fact.
Nice ulti.
Orbital
Mantap,
strikes
nice
used
ulti.
to slow them down, and RB's taken down in the meantime.
Ah,
Secret's
timing.
out for Davai, but he's got cover. Benkai coming in to
seru
save
cuy.
the day, and Davai's gonna dance around that smoke. He goes down, but he knows
Menang
exactly
sini.
where Stax is.
Saving
That
dia.
information's fed to his teammates, and
Saving si
Stax can
Stax.
fall back and has some secrets
Stax
of
nih
his
kalau
own.
masa
But in a
flash ngeri
1v4,
juga loh.
even getting the plant down here would be
Dari
ambitious.
awal kan dia pakai
quite
bridge
difficult.
kalau
I
nggak
like the
salah.
PRX
Pas
were
masih
sticking
Division
together for a while as
Strikers.
4, but
Pakai
splitting into
bridge
2-2
dia.
makes a lot of sense here just to cover more ground.
I don't think it's a stat
Kayak-
that anybody
tapi
can
sebelum-
pull, but I would love to
map
know
1 tadi dia pakai
how
bridge
much of
sih
the
kalau
game
nggak salah.
PRX spend running over walking. Because I feel like it's going to be higher than anyone else ever. Because it's like their rotation there was so quick.
Jangan throw please.
Player on the site is
Jangan throw please, main freak jangan
very
nge-pick.
surprised.
Low, aduh.
He actually does off
Serem
the back
banget
of the
main
stun.
freak,
Gives an
sumpah.
opportunity, flash through as well. Stax is doing incredibly well to isolate these jewels. The other player is coming in on the flank. If he can somehow
Serem
find
banget,
this
cuy.
frag,
Wah,
he's got an
bisa sini
opportunity and
dibalikin.
actually moves into a safe spot to
Sumpah
utilize
bisa
the Seekers. He's
ah.
going to get the wallbang, 4 down, and now he even knows where Forsaken is. Could just go for the plant, bringing this back to try and ace it. Pop flash out to leave him blind, leaves himself blind a little bit as well. Forsaken still just trying to sneak his way.
Walaupun menang nih
The
masih
day on Stax, but he will land the headshot in the end. A round that never should have been.
I mean, back and forth
Wah,
the
rugi
entire
parah.
map so far. We have had rounds
parah
that
sih.
shouldn't be won. The eco from DRX, the mix buy for PRX, but I think that one's
Nah,
taking the
nggak mungkin
cake
mix
for
buy
now.
sih.
Unbelievable work,
Harus
a
eco.
1v4 ace clutch. And he isolates every duel. You can definitely look at that as some mistakes from PRX, but I understand Benkai wants to get out there to help his low HP teammate who was 1 bullet through the wall away from going down. The operator swap out for Forsaken and a damn good attempt on the jump up, but such a crispy shot hit by Stax. That is 3-2, and now PRX are left down to the eco. The tables are turning too damn fast.
The man's a god. Like, he read everything perfectly. Like, sure, the Seekers at the end was the icing on the cake just to give him the information, but it was the isolation of
Yes,
every
KR.
single
King
one
kalau
of
nggak salah
those
kayak itu
jewels
King
from
KR.
Stax. So clever
Pakai
in
KR
those sort of
semua.
spots. And,
Keren sih jadi.
well, as you said, leaving PRX in a bit of an awkward position, because up until that, their read on the round has been phenomenal. They've been doing an excellent job on this defensive side, but that
Tapi kalau di
one
ban emang
blip on the
artis
radar
ya, Reis. Kayaknya si
could be
Bas
enough
ini
to
cuma
turn
bisa
things. Again, we're
pakai
just seeing these
jet
combinations
ya
of
kalau di
stuns
Elis.
and flashes.
Kayaknya ya.
It's gonna go pushing, but they know that someone's made that move.
Gonna burn up
Run.
the... Oh god, run! It's caught him as well, yeah. Won't have any impact off the back though, obviously. No one pushing up from DRX. They're waiting to go into the A site. They've been spotted up by Divide, tagged through the wall. Not having an easy time getting out of there.
Nice banget
He's
smoke.
managed to reposition with Forsaken. They're not going to get on top of the wall as they try to break it. Divide goes down. Showstopper attempt is going to find
Aduh, bom
nothing.
ulti
That
kah?
was an ambitious ultimate.
Anjing, aduh, ini
Maybe not
di
wanting to
save nggak sih?
go all the way up, risk being headshotted.
Tapi nggak apa-apa sih.
Actually unzested.
Kalau
The
menang sih
Xbox
nggak
One
rugi sih.
seconds later,
Mati
we have a
sama itu.
blast pack kill. RB holds his ground. And he's going to wipe them out. Just
Timing.
Freak. The late lurk once again trying to come back through, and Buzz is watching and waiting. DRX
Rugi,
not letting
rugi,
anything
rugi.
get out of control. The ult's not really
Ulti,
having the impact they would have
ulti
desired, and they're
Nggak
going to equal up
pakai.
that scoreline.
Satu sih.
No surprise why we were talking about the potential forces in round 2 from DRX. We said confidence is
Mati
the way to
loh.
play, and so far it has been working out for them.
Kena sacel.
Face into that buy, sure, we expect them to win that round and equalize things up. But the way that they've been getting this done, the clutch from Stax, I mean, momentum has got to be off the charts over on that attacking side. But this is where they face a pretty tough round. I mean, Forsaken, I don't even want to theorize what he's going to do with that ultimate. Things can get wild, let's just say. And then on the other side, we've also got Rolling Thunder to try and recover some of these scenarios. PRX have a bunch to work with. Although the one upside is that showstopper was burned up in the last round for nothing. And here's the showstopper on the other side, getting away with a kill inside of Hookah.
just watching what Forsaken is going to try and attempt here. Pop flashing out, dissipates back to the A side, but the rest of his team are going to be left somewhat alone. They won the What's just happened? He even jumps back down off the wall,
Mati
and
kabel sih.
now
Oh,
it's
enggak.
somewhat stuck. It's a bit of a weird position to be in.
Nice flash.
Backside in the corner as well. The flash
Nice
is solid.
flash.
One isolated, but can't get himself the second. And now, well, the man who gate crashed
Ada
away
ulti lagi dia.
now has to try and run back, and that he's already got his Seekers back. He used it in that clutch just 2 rounds ago.
And then he got 4 kills. It certainly helped out.
Spike
I think it was 2
planted.
right after the Seekers. Forsaken, still with a flash in his ult to play with. He's going to be moving into this 1v2 for now, clearing the angles with the
Seram
Vandal.
ya pasti.
Needs the headshot with just 32 health.
Momen-momen kelas ini kalau
And
nggak
PRX,
tenang,
you know, they're
kacau
not going
sih.
to have an easy time. DRX are just stuck in. Not
Harus
peeking
tenang.
anything,
Masalah
waiting for him to tap that
ngebikin
spike,
tenang
and then
tuh
they can run it off the clock
ribet.
in the positions they're in. It's so hard for Forsaken to weed them out. And they even believe it's a fake to start with. Gorgeous stuff. I like the fact that you send the one guy out of hookah and the player inside of elbow is just going to sit there, just going to wait for something to happen. There's no point in both you peeking and giving the information away. A fourth round found pretty cleanly, and that was the buy round for PRX, leaving it down to another eco. DRX, despite a pretty terrible start to this, they've certainly recovered the fumble.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more shaky. I think if you end up locking you and your teammate behind a wall in the cubby, and the fact that I think if the player didn't fall off of the wall, it probably gets 2 kills there. It's not quite as pretty as maybe some of the rounds we're used to from DRX, but they're going to take it. 4 rounds already on that attack, and again, back to pistols. The dimensional drift not really being used at all. I'd be interested to see what Forsaken's actually going to do with it. If it's going to be like a couple of fake plays to try and bait people out, use it for information, or if they're saving it for a situational position within a buy round that he feels it can bring value. Who knows? Because again, we don't really see this in competitive play.
Belong
Yeah, fake TP'd over towards A side, but I don't think anyone was close enough to really hear that.
Belongnya 1 orang.
Hoping that they're going to get DRX running up through B long, but now some players have been spotted. Look at the immediate reaction. Stacks goes up, makes a bit of noise, pops his flash, and then he's on his way back around. His teammates creeping in towards the A side. With no gate crash over there anymore, this is going to leave him in a pretty tough spot. PRX stacked up on exactly the wrong side. They're realizing that now with the smokes going down.
Bukan yang warna itu, yang warna kayak Lego gitu ya. Kalau itu kan warna kayak Buzz Lightyear gitu.
An attempt again to try and play through this. Forsaken
mati tuh.
Noise at least, but they're going to have themselves the Viper's Pit to play within, covering off the spike.
Cakep banget nih ultinya.
Trying to get a little bit more aggressive, but Mako's ready for it. And with the players being so low, every time he takes a battle, it becomes easier and easier. Also, okay, I was going to say, it looked like Buzz had that covered. Forsaken will drop 1, Mitch, but, well, I think that might be all.
Yeah, there's an immediate response from DRX. They thin out this defense on the way back through. No big clutch needed, and they're on their way. 2 kills already found. Rifles retrieved. Here comes an orbital strike, and a dive in. Mindfreak's taken Forsaken out. But Mako going down doesn't really help them with so little time. Mindfreak tries his best. But we end up with DRX coming out ahead. Another round at Tom, I think, you know, not as clean as maybe either team would have liked. Forsaken going down to that ult. I mean, he was just barely inside it, but it was enough.
The worst thing is, if he just stands back, Mako's going to run into him. Like, almost 100%.
Oh, you've slow-mo'd it?
He's gonna run in. Yeah,
Atau
so
mungkin
he
karena
tried to
ini
play on the edge and just clips it. The shot that he connects onto Marco was fantastic, but there was only one way he could go. It's a nice attempt, especially again with what weaponry they had. They used those ultimates to make things incredibly costly. But DRX still come out with a round.
Kok langsung mati ya, bukan satu HP berarti itu. Kalau nggak salah kalau kena teman juga nggak sampai sesakit itu.
Initial push down on B long, and they've kept 2 players up close after the TP out. Are they ready for this? Buzz is certainly expecting there to be someone up close, but with 2 players on the other side, he could be in a lot of danger. Starting to back off at least and give up that control. Lots of players spotted outside. Oh, he's actually going to try it! Thought he was sticking around, man. Once he popped the flash down, I'm like, is this guy crazy? He saw 3 players, but he decided to gate crash out. Oh, give me a heart attack, Forsaken.
It's given them information of at least where the players are. And I think they've fallen back off of their initial aggression onto B, but you can see that it's definitely in the head of Buzz. Like, that's about as far back as you're ever going to play, unless you're just sat within your spawn saving. So now they have to try and clear out some of these more aggressive angles.
Mati ini siapa ini?
This setup is beautiful, but Jin gets out. He manages to escape and still holds on to the position, even has utility of his own to try and hold them back, but Forsaken caught in a bit of an odd spot. Facing the wall, trying to have the anti-flash, and in the meantime, DRX have cleared out every single player. Stacks is popping at the moment. It's left all on to Benkai. Actually, I think he's heard that rotation. It's somewhat of a ruse, but they end up going in that direction anyway when they realize the site's clear.
Yeah, with Buzz having lurked over on B for so long, he's already got this position cleared out fully. He's ready for Benkai to make his way through, but now he senses, all right, this stage he'll think I'm here. Element of surprise kind of faded away, pops the smoke, falls back. He's going to play this with his teammate. Another thing for DRX is just the patience play, man. They set up, they take every advantage they can get. Nobody's swinging alone. And the first point of contact is going to be up inside of hookah. Benkai is going to have to hit that shot and then immediately adjust to Buzz. Not an easy duel to take. He's being spotted now, and there's the double swing to close it. Really well handled. And at this point, this is the kind of play you need to see from DRX because some rounds have slipped out of both teams' hands because of big clutch plays. So we're going to start to wake up and play a lot more serious, especially with DRX being on PRX's map pick, having lost theirs. I mean, this is a threatening position. Now a timeout will come through from the PRX boys. They are facing into an eco though, so I wouldn't expect success immediately.
Yeah, this is a map as well for DRX that they've been avoiding quite a bit. Like it's out of all of the maps in the pool, this is the one that I think they have the worst record on. They've only played Fracture once and they won it.
Nggak serunya dengan Iko sekarang, kita nggak dapat uang cuy. Kalau awal-awal Valorant tuh kita Iko, jadi uang untuk selanjutnya tuh nggak kepotong. Kalau sekarang kan potong. PRX-nya time out, oke. 30 detik mungkin mau ngilangin momentumnya si DRX dulu. Lumayan kan berapa round ya? Belum dapat ya tadi ya. PRX. 3 round ya? Dari Iko terus buy terus Iko lagi.
They spotted the 3 players outside of Bath. Everything was going their way in terms of the info game. But a couple of times now, we've seen Forsaken caught off. I mean, playing the anti-flash in the corner, his teammates orbital strike the previous round. Not having the best of rounds there. And we're going to see him come into this one with a Marshall. He really loves the scope on the Yoru. I'm not sure that I love it, but we'll see. See if it grows on me.
Well, he's been doing quite well, at least, when he's had that operator in play. Hasn't played it particularly a huge amount because of how aggressive he's going to be. Like, he wants to be challenging through those TPs, he wants to be pushing forward, but there's definitely been moments where he's been caught out. Benkai goes pushing. Now, there's a lot of open angles from this point onwards, and I'd be very surprised if he manages to get anything. In fact, you can see the instant reaction. Free kill for RB.
Nicely connected. DRX will just breeze into this site now. The TP coming through from Forsaken. Marshall, I mean, he's going to have a tough time clearing out that.
Tujuannya kan cuma ekonomi.
He's able to just push through here, but the shot won't be connected. Zest goes down. That's a rifle upgrade for Forsaken. Back control in their favor.
Aduh, siapa tuh?
They know where DRX are stuck in towards lamps. Down in the bottom of middle, this could be huge as they look to isolate these close-range dual pistols in hand. A stinger for Jing opens it up, but Buzz goes huge. 3 kills to secure the round. Now 7 on the board for DRX. These guys are steaming ahead on the attack side.
Yeah, their off the plants just look so good. Even though they gave up certain portions of the map because players were lost, they then react, reclaim others. And I don't think we've seen a success, since the pistol at least, seen a successful retake of lamps. Like, whoever's been there, even if they're stunned up, has just been so confident in holding on to that position, whether it's been Buzz or RB in previous rounds. And retaking without that control is always so incredibly difficult. And I just don't think there's been anywhere near as much there to be able to force them out of that spot. 7-3 after some early round shenanigans. DRX have gone into a dominant spot, just like they did on the previous map.
At this point, Tom, for PRX, it's do or die time in this half. All the economy invested into this round. Gonna have a showstopper, Rolling Thunder coming up with just 1 kill.
Si DRX loh yang ngambil.
DRX are taking this understandably slowly, understanding the weight that is in this round, how important it can be. They're playing the default, holding for the aggression. PRX up to the similar Yoru tricks that we've talked about.
Yeah. It's like seeing the fake out on the map is the most like mind blowing. That like you look just like there's no, he's not there. He's over here. And it's just like trying to focus on it. I feel like they need to almost make him a different color when it's the fake out to be less confusing. Forsaken, however, has managed to one and then escape. Jing also just trying to delay. That was beautiful how he managed to get up there. So beautiful they didn't even expect it, but he whips his shots. Not going to find anything more, and they'll take control of the site.
That's a huge whiff. RB left alive. They're closing in on the site. The heals coming in for RB. He's spraying back through. The Rolling Thunder committed. Maybe a little bit late, though. They just lost a player. As they go back in, there's no flashes to play with. Benkai is going to try to close the distance himself, but he's got a 1v3 now after the first kill. They're just tucked in all these little corners. The crossfire with long. RB should be swinging, not able to get the kill, but Oh, actually, he'll be forced out. This is really good for Bankai. Kill with the Aftershock, 1v2.
Longnya,
Time on his
please.
side. Information, though, not really there to play with, and the swing from Stacks confirms the round. 8 on the board for DRX. PRX are running out of cash,
Wajar
Tom,
sih dia ngeliat
coming into the
karena
final
dia tadi
round.
dapat
Yeah,
info
the
awalnya
breakout
dari hookah.
rounds as well. Like it's been incredibly
Udah dapat
strong,
info
and
dia
that's the
tadi
thing. I
kan,
feel like there's been
info,
opportunities where
Garden sama
we
hookah.
could have seen
Makanya dia ngeliatin
PRX like catch someone off guard, and they just haven't been able to do
Tapi
so.
unlucky
The
aja karena dia
movement that
langsung
came out
loncat
from
ke
Jing
long
there was fantastic. Like able to get up above, take an aggressive angle, doesn't connect, and then you just see instantly DRX just lock him out with utility. They don't allow him to have a repeat. They don't allow him to have another chance. And anybody else who's battling elsewhere on the map, well, they've already lost by that point.
So not only did PRX have a poor economy, oh, and never mind, screw that point. Forsaken's gone, he's running it down, flashes in, Mind Freak trades, Showstopper out to secure it. RB doesn't even need it. And this is what I was going to point out. You had a res for DRX, but Zest is gone. You have the Showstopper as well. And sure, Jing has his own, but after that initial fight and losing all of the players, this is an extra possible round. Oh, that's stunned. Great. Showstopper gets nothing with 30 HP and a Spectre in the hands of both remaining players. This round is, well, it should be DRX's, and they're even going to confirm it rotating to A, leaving Jing to try and run, and look who's right behind him. Behind the Cosmic Divide, RB's going to secure this bit of map control.
Wah, gila kali orang.
And that's great information, because now they know exactly where he's going, and he has no idea.
There's only one way he can go. So you can see instantly
sih,
Stacks
kalau
is
aku
already
sih
watching
jadi-
this. The communication from DRX is second
Tapi
to
round
none.
terakhir juga ya.
Everybody's on the same page of where this is currently going to be coming from. You can see the
Iya ya, round
hold
terakhir
over
juga.
on the other side, the plant even being in an aggressive position, and it's almost like Stacks has
Wah,
eyes
gila sih
around the
timing.
map or something. Maybe he's playing a
Timing
side where he
DRX
just didn't know
tadi
it.
bagus-bagus
Because his
terus loh.
timing, his precision on this map has been superb. DRX 9-3 in the lead, Mitch. That was dominant.
Gila
Well,
sih.
maybe the first time someone had a Cypher cam when they shouldn't. 9-3 at the half. Pretty damn strong position for DRX. You know, we had some concerns coming onto this map. And, well, I think they have been
kalau
well and
game-nya,
truly put to
kalau
rest.
orangnya,
But you know
kalau
what?
orang
We
hoki,
weren't the only ones with concerns,
timingnya
Tom.
bagus-bagus,
The analyst desk had some things to say.
bisa
Let's see
menang
what they
loh
made
dia
of that half.
dibandingkan yang aimnya kuat. Kayak tadi tuh.
Thank you so much, Mitch and Tom.
Dapat bokong, tapi aimnya
9-3,
ya
y'all.
minimal
Okay, I
pas-pasan
mean,
lah.
DRX clapping back on
Kalau
PRX's
di-
map pick
Di
there.
flip juga kan dari
Just,
belakang itu kan
that hurt a little to watch.
gara-gara
I mean,
kalah
yeah, I
aim
wouldn't
yang
say it was
kemana-mana
necessarily
ya.
a bad
juga
half
sih.
from PRX. I just
Nah,
thought
kalau
that in
aimnya
every
pas-pasan
turn,
gitu.
DRX was making good positional movements around the map. Speaking of locking down this man on your screen, let's bring him up for you. This man was locked out time and time and time again, and no matter how he tried to use his Yoru utility, Doug, you and I were sitting here going, underwhelmed. What a shame he can't unlock the full potential of this particular agent, because if he could, the way he runs Ryan on this map usually, then, I mean, I just think it's DRX locking him out.
Yeah, it's tricky because I have so much hope, right? Like, I want Yoru to work, and there is good and there is bad to this pick, right? You really live by, it's feast or famine. When you try to do things like this. There are a couple of really good examples. You take a look at the beginning of this round, he's able to clear long, clear back showers, and then gate crash back up to A heaven. So just in a split second, he's established control of probably 75% of the map, right? Just by gathering information. On the other side, though, here's where there's the famine part of this. You see he sets up his gate crash outside of showers. He's able to fight through teleporter to help contest sand. But as soon as he takes that gate crash back, the control is lost. Now he's on the opposite side of the map. There's no quick way for him to get back to the team and help take this fight. So there really is there is control that can be gathered. There's very good ways to instantly grab information, like we saw in the first clip, but in the second clip, when you take that gate crash, there's no turning back, right? Like you've committed to that spot, and if you commit the wrong way, you're out of the fight. It was while that happened that they lost speed control. He wasn't able to get back into the site. He wasn't able to get back into the round. Now, all of that said, I'm hoping that him going to attack will be different, right? Like they'll get back on their attacking half. Perhaps he feels a bit more comfortable in his playmaking ability there, but the defensive half, while it had some glimpses of cool stuff, was underwhelming.
Jess, what would you like to see from Yoru then?
I just want to see what it looks like aggressive on the attack. Let's see what brings with that. Let's see if he can get a little bit more control.
Well, let's see. Tomich, take it away.
Well, we're right back into the action here. Round number 13 about to kick off, and Tom, PRX have got a pretty tough task at hand. This is going to have to be a solid attack side, and I think somewhere we're hoping to see a lot of value out of that Yoru. coming into things here.
I love the clips we were getting from Doug, though, because those are things that you sort of spot out, like you see the ladder parts, but he's taken the POVs out of the round, and he's given us the only Yoru analysis we've ever seen in pro play. So there you go. Thank you, Doug, for that one. But yeah, it's a really rough spot for them to be in, and especially now going into a DRX defense, which has so much stopping power. That's almost, I thought this composition would work for them more so on that defense, because you have so much stuff to sort of slow down this fast-paced, aggressive play, which PRX love to do.
Well, it looks like DRX have really rolled the dice on this one. 4 players on the A side, but PRX have gone the other side.
I don't think that flash can port anyone.
So that's information void.
Yeah, it's
for that
all
team.
Itu masih enak
And
sih.
here we go.
Kita
Some boys coming up
pakai
long.
frenzy masih
DRX
bisa beli
will have
armor
a pretty good
25.
idea what's going on now, but there's not anything that they can do about it. You know, the stack's is going to run out and just die to like 4 players rushing him. He's just going to wait, hold elbow control, and let his teammates rotate in. But look at this. PRX are not going to give them any space at all. 3 players pushing in to take that control, and a flash ready for Divide. He's back out with the pistol, and well, that hasn't gone according to plan.
Jing in pistol rounds. It's a terrifying force. He's looking
yang
to just
isap-isap Astra
sprint
itu
all
tadi
the way in
sumpah
from
mantap.
behind. Forsaken being walled off, and actually they're going to try and get on the defuse. They have the gatekeeper as well, as they just wrap back. They're still sticking this. They're holding it all the way down, and they can't quite stop him. It's going to be defused right in front of their faces, and that wall, I think, just wins them the round.
And the incredible thing is as well, the player didn't get walled off. They got walled up and just weren't ready for it. That would have been 2 kills probably if he was a step further forward looking to the left, but instead he goes up in the air, gets confused about how to even aim while you're flying up. And this here, toe tapping away, Benkai takes him down as the defuse comes through. I don't know if there's a way to analyze that one frame by frame in the production truck and tell us how close it was.
Why have you given them that task?
I'm going to give him a difficult task. I want to know, how close was that to stopping the defuse? And production are now hating.
Joe's just sat there like, screw you. I have enough to do.
Well, 10-3. This is looking like DRX setting themselves up for victory, but PRX a 4 spot. Forsaken's in the sight. And he's already grabbed himself a kill. Looks like he wants a little bit more as well, and he needs it too.
Ditembak tuh bayangannya.
Still a player sat here on the back side. RB's gone undetected thus far. They still haven't cleared him.
Tapi untungnya tadi bayangannya di dalam smoke.
No, I think they have the plan to. Oh, Flash is still sure? Okay, never mind. Free kill. They still haven't managed to get the spike. They're trying to bait people into peeking. Jing eventually will get the job done. But again, the trades come back and forth. Dancing past goes Marco. But Benkai in from behind has managed to find one more. It's left all on to Stacks again, and this time he can't clutch it out. PRX will bounce back, and it's a needed round.
Taking a leaf out of DRX's boat with the second round forced by huge success in this one. Only the 2 players surviving, so there is still a decent bit of investment for them. It's unlikely DRX really decides to go all in on this round. Defensive side, they could make it work with a light buy, but the ego is 9 times out of 10 what you're going to be going for. That gives PRX at least an opportunity.
That's what I've been told.
3 frames. Oh my. Okay, well that's a bit unreasonable. That's ridiculous.
Beacon down.
Such a tight margin, but either way, they might have lost the first round because of a couple of frames, but they've won the second, and now all that's left to do is confirm up against Classics. It has been a full eco for DRX. The fake going out, Yoru just running forward. They've realized. Managed to get one of the kills at least to start with. Forsaken's just running through the aftershock. What a lunatic is his teammate, so yeah, take less damage, but he's still pretty low.
Frenzy sama
Like
Ghost.
half the time he has to work out where he is.
Nice.
like, cause I'm trying to keep up with it. Like, okay, he's gone from there. He's over there now. That's not him. That's the fake one. No, the other one's over on this side. And okay, and he's dead. And that's like half the round. And I can't imagine what it's like for DRX, because I can see his point of view, him on the map, where he puts his fake outs on the map, and they can't see any of that until it's in their face.
Berarti
So
yang operator
I feel like it's almost again just
pindah
like
ya
this
dari yang
disruption
DRX
play
jadi
coming
ke
out from
RB ya.
PRX of just like this
Kayaknya
guy is
RB kayak
creating
kurang gitu
confusion for you.
operatornya.
And
Dari
again, I
kemarin ya,
remember
kemarin ya
speaking
kalau
to
aku lihat
Nikhil,
ya.
and he was like, this agent is made.
Kayak kurang aja gitu.
It's like the problem with Yoru that we've seen when it was tried in the MEA towards the start is that you can see the idea behind a lot of the plays, but it's so hard to pull it off successfully. Oh no, the wall's gone up.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you said.
This was one of the things I said about them bringing in a Sage. It wasn't in the comp previously, and it's just like, if he's going to try and cause disruption with his ultimate, well, that doesn't work if you just wall it off. He can't run through walls. That's not in the ability toolset yet, you know? Maybe if he stops being played, they'll add that in.
He's being played, what, by the one team playing him?
It was 0% before today, so now they've gone, one guy did it, sorry, we can't give you that through wall attack.
No buff, yeah. Maybe if we're following that logic, I guess Reyna's about to have a nerf as well then, after the last
wait for the Phoenix buff.
Okay. Relax. Not looking to make it an NA meta. The flash out towards long here confirms that there's been no push from DRX. Super passive play. And after they hear that flash on long, look at them go. They're running. Oh, but that being destroyed is not ideal, because now it's actually sort of made DRX think maybe they're still around here for seconds in the back of the site.
I guess that maybe with the Seekers, he just had the confidence to do that, but I feel like he would have done it anyway. They've still got this deep control in the afterplant, but look at DRX, they're expecting it. They know they've lost this control. Jing is so quick on the reactions. Goes back for a little more, but he's being pincered from behind. He's got to be careful. He needs his teammates to watch, and they're not. That allows Army to get the kill. And leaves just 3 standing.
Sumpah lagi jiggle dari itu. Kalau dia tadi nggak jiggle itu bisa aman dari itu jiggle dari heaven-nya.
Have to select this moment very carefully. You can see they're watching the smoke, waiting for him to emerge. He's got a teammate buying him some time and double spray down.
Nice,
that is huge. Orbital strike to confirm the round. Essentially 3v1. Stax will get a kill, but time is the biggest enemy for him. He has got to run for the hills.
Good round.
That is a massive round for PRX to pick up. They came into this with a lot of disadvantages, and damn did they make it work.
Yeah, and especially when it came down to like that 4v3 scenario after a couple of players attempted to get aggressive. They needed a little bit of luck, and it looks like they got it there. Just spamming through the smoke, lining up to try and just stop the person from defusing. Actually gets 2 for his money instead. And now it leaves a bit of a weird scenario. Now DRX do have
DRX Iko bisa sih menang. Cuman si Bas ada ulti nih. Si Bas sama Mako ada ulti.
But the one I'm focusing on at least is that Viper's Pit. If they can get into a site, get into a good position, there's an opportunity for them here. And I do wonder if they're just going to try and utilize it almost instantly, but instead, Stax is just going to try fighting.
Stax the only player that had a Phantom though, so the players to back him up, not going to have nearly as easy of a time. The Showstopper won't be finding a kill here. The players are far too far away. It is seizing the space, getting them onto the site quickly, allowing the plants to come through.
They waited. I like it. They didn't even move that little bit forward just in case, because they didn't hear it fired off just yet.
Tuh kan.
Buzz.
Oh, Mako udah mati si Mako. Sisa Bas nih. Sisa Bas. Kalah sih. Bisa sih. Orang ini gue sama share. Anjing. Nice. 2v2. Orang tuh dapat senjata nggak? Oh nggak.
I mean, they've waited out a lot of the utility here. It's the best moment to strike for DRX on the way through. Right,
nice.
But nothing to be found for it. Still, good damage, all things considered. And, you know, I like PRX. For a second, I thought I'd love to see the Aftershock go down with the nade. But then I realized they were staggering their utility purely just to buy themselves that extra bit of time. Nade down first, wait a little moment, pop down the Aftershock, wait a second longer, stun it up.
Kalau cuman keculik 2 tuh lebih enak.
Still got pretty much all of those ultimates. Like, Benkai has his Rolling Thunder on the other side, but defensively, a Viper's Pit potentially being put into play, Seekers when they need that information, or on the retake, so, again, there's a lot of danger here, and they're just going to lock it down on A site almost instantly. The only worry I have is that if there's any ultimate that they have to be really careful playing against when you're up against a Yoru, it's a Viper's Pit.
Yes, that can be extremely dangerous. Now, when you look at where PRX are at right now, they did start to give up the control here and move away, but it seems like they've got an idea of what they want to do, moving in towards this Viper's Pit. Mako holding behind the box, won't be baited out by that fake.
Nyangkut di situ, fake Yorunya.
Ready to fire through. A minute left on the clock. DRX won't want to use up all their utility just yet. That might buy some time. PRX already setting up, starting to break this wall inside of bathrooms. This is wise from not to already be charging into the pit. They want to wait a moment. They want to make sure that they're applying pressure from both sides. What this does though is it allows DRX
Kenapa gak dihancurin itu sama kayaknya Gridnya langsung.
And that's an ambitious play. He's already through. Forsaken's got them with the TP, and he had to be ulted by a showstopper.
30 seconds left.
But he wanted to try and catch out Marco. That's the problem. You needed to kill off this Viper. And in fact, he now re-aggresses further. This is going to be a huge surprise. They don't expect him. That's a spike down. Marco's already won them the round. This has to be a straight sprint for the remainder, and they'll have to do it through a Viper's pit. I don't even think they have the time to get anything done, just hoping for a miracle shot. And that slight bit of re-aggression coming out from Marco basically just closes it completely.
That is absolutely huge. And initially, he was moving
Kayaknya kalau
to get
menurut
the
aku
flank,
sekarang lebih kuatan
thinking
Mako
that the players were already gone, that they were on their way to
Vipernya
plant, and he
untuk
hears that
Vipernya,
step
di ban.
behind him, and it's like Christmas came early
Nggak-
for him.
nggak
He
di
couldn't
ban
believe
aja
his
sih.
luck. 2 players
Di
running
Icebox
through his
ngeri
pit, not
juga
even
sih.
looking at him.
Vipernya.
This right
Cuman
here,
kalau di
were it not for the
Icebox
showstopper, I
kayak
mean, he was spraying through
Nuts
that.
nggak
It
pakai
could have
Viper
come
deh
close to
kayaknya,
taking
lupa.
Mako down.
Kayaknya
But in the
masih
end,
pakai
man survives and wins it out, and it's
Cypher
all
kah
around that
kayaknya?
Viper's pit. 11 on the board for
atau Viper
DRX.
deh ya.
Yeah, 3 ultimates
sih,
used in
Viper
that
sih,
round
Viper
for
kayak.
DRX, just to make sure it's confirmed. The remaining 2 far more situational, and you do still have that Rolling Thunder available for an entry. Again, there's a lot of cool combination things you can do alongside that Yoru, stunning them up, not enabling them to be able to turn around to take that fight versus him. There's a lot of potential, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to be the focus point of this.
They haven't checked the right as they go through, but they'll spam it anyways. Luckily, they already had Mako drop down. Over towards the side, PRX have been cleared out long with the Yoru. Now going to look to blitz into the side, but again, DRX has got the lead. There's 3 players here ready to fight. Rolling Thunder for left side. They'll fight the right, and TP in on the back of the Rolling Thunder. Look how quickly Forsaken's already here, able to eliminate RB, and almost takes down Stacks with a sliver of HP. That's a quick frag for his teammates. Mako hasn't been spotted just yet, but they're ready. They knew he could be in the smoke. Zest quick to bounce back onto the site. They know that Buzz is there.
Nah,
Really,
gitu
PRX didn't let
tuh.
anything slip there. That was such a clean round.
Yeah, I really like the potential combinations
Lumayan kan,
of that
300
Rolling
nambah.
Thunder, because normally you're going to have
Satu
yourself a
tim lagi
raise in most
nambahan.
cases, blast packing in behind it.
Yes.
That's
Jadi
expected.
kalau ada yang
The fact is
masih
though they have
masih
2
hidup,
players
masih
that
punya
can get in
senjata
so
itu teman-teman
desperately quick
bisa
that
ngebreak
it's impossible for them to
apa,
check
bisa
every single
ngembain
angle at once, because they're either
temennya.
trying to escape to make sure they're not just getting killed while they're stunned, or they're going, Raze is flying over my head! So you have to try and almost focus on that. There's so much distraction play within this
Nice.
composition, and yeah, then just holding on to the side at the end. 11 to 8. Remember, this was a
menang
9-3
nice.
first half, and DRX are now back
Tapi kalau
to just
DRX
pistol.
ini sih,
Again, still with the
vamos.
res if they...
Vamos.
Oh, good spot! Oh no! Well, there's the good spot, Mitch. There's the good spot.
Pretty good spot, yeah. They pushed down mid, got stunned by Breach, and managed to hit the shot swinging with the Sheriff. I mean, you get 1 bullet, 1 shot. They certainly didn't let it slip. These rifles are going to have a really tough time of recovering it. The one upside is that in the positions they killed them in, not wanting to over-aggress and lose their lives, they haven't retrieved those rifles. So the remaining players still only have pistols to play with.
Still, though, isolating these duels not going to be easy.
Smoke's down.
I'm freak spotting one, but he's just gone straight.
Masih ada.
Absolute
Aduh,
madman.
ngapa
From
dia
what RB will take
lihat
that.
situ?
A quick
Kan
trade,
udah ada
putting
main
it into a
freak,
4 versus 2.
astaga, Jason.
They're trying to fake this out, and they have
Kan
border
udah ada
rotation.
main
If
freak
they
yang
can manage to
ngejaga.
isolate Marco, this round could go in their favor. However, they've got to find him first.
All
Gardennya
they have to
please,
do is deal
gardennya
with
hati-hati.
Mako, but that can be a
Gardennya
pretty
hati-hati.
tough round.
Gardennya ada.
Clearing the right angle, but he's avoided them, and the timing was perfect. The shot not connected, though. And now stuck in the corner. It should be easy. Mind Freak being played with here. Oh, he's down to 19 HP. The classic comes out, and Stacks is there to save the day. Divide distracted by the teleport behind. You see just why it's not so easy to get rid of Mako. Hiding in that corner, buying so much time for the rotations to come through. DRX just looking unstoppable with 4 chances to close out this map and bring us to Ascent.
Gila loh.
It's just so dirty.
Padahal udah,
So much aggression across the map from DRX. It's not the norm. of what we see
Padahal
from
udah
them on this map in
kena
particular. Of what we've seen
stunnya
so far, it's been much more
Bridge.
passive, waiting for these aggressive plays to come through from PRX, and that spanner in the work has basically turned this now into a map point for them. A chance to take us to a third, a chance to take us to Ascent, which within their region has been a phenomenal map
Ini
for
bab
them.
satu DRX yang
Somewhere I'm
apa?
sure they're going to be incredibly happy to go.
DRX yang milih, dia yang kalah. Map 2 ini tapi belum sih, masih 12-8, masih ada sisa satu run lagi. Bisa sih, masih bisa ngejar. Bisa ngejar nih, kita harus optimis sih. Saya pride.
Mako in trouble, he ends up falling for the decoy.
Yeah.
Forsaken.
Dear.
That was huge misread.
I don't think he spotted him. I think Marco managed to dodge within the tube, but because of that, it's all fallen apart. The aggression of Stacks is countered though, and Divide has just got massive. Run out of bullets though, and Buzz has killed the final two. DRX are going to claim their opponent's map choice just as PRX did before. 13-8. We take this 1-3, and although I wanted to see the success of Yoru, I'm happy we're heading to a third.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even sure what we can see from PRX that they haven't already brought to the
ada
table.
lagi 4
Yoru was
peluru deh, 4
incredible. I think
peluru deh.
Jin had a really tough map here.
Bisa tuh menang
Go
tuh.
back over to
Wah.
something like Arena, who knows? Things could change. But no, I think realistically at this point, this is the series that we hoped for. We knew that PRX came.
Ente PRX map 3. Map 3 tuh Ascent. Ascent sih, seharusnya bisa sih. Seharusnya bisa sih map 3 Ascent. Yep. Thank you buat teman-teman yang sudah mau join ke stream ini dan menonton bersama. See you in the next stream kali ya. Map 3 kayaknya aku nggak ngerti sih. Ngantuk cuy. Thank you teman-teman. Bye bye.